Aspen University, CJ415 Supervision of Police. My name's Andre Rosedale. I'm the instructor for this course. This is Module 3, Discussion Question 1, which reads, this module talked about power positions. Discuss its application in the leadership function in which you find most important for leaders. So moving on for that, what is your most, what do you think is the most important personality trait for leaders? Is it knowledge of the job? Is it connections with other departments, or the ability to work with their supervisors? For example, the chief of police, can they work with human resources or the mayor or city council? What do you think is an important characteristic for a successful leader on just a basic level? I'm working on some stuff. I'm writing some stuff now that I've just recently retired, and I wrote something today about a leader that cared. I had a chief of police that cared more for his guys than his success at being a chief of police, and those are very rare. You would see a lot of it. For example, in the military, you can't become a sergeant without being a private. So you would work your way up. In police work, in my experience, in this last agency that I worked for prior to retirement, I saw a lot of people just kind of like ladder climbing, but not really learning the job. They just learned how to get to the next level. But not this guy. This guy worked as a patrolman, worked as a sergeant, lieutenant, captain, deputy chief, and but in the end, he really cared about his guys. I got injured 6 months after getting hired by this agency, and he called every hour until he spoke to me after I was released from the hospital. We had an individual that was going through some really tough times, ended up committing a couple of law violations, and he was disciplined for it. But instead of serving 45 days straight with no pay, the chief of police went to bat for him, and he was reduced in a pay grade. And that really mattered. And when he left, we thought we were going to get a more progressive chief, and instead we just got a politician that really didn't care about his guys. And I had worked for chiefs like that before, and was very disappointed. So for me, important leadership quality is caring about the individuals that work for you. Pope John Paul II wrote a book called, I believe it was called Crossing the Threshold of Faith, Crossing the Threshold of Hope. And the Pope, being the leader of the Catholic Church, was quoted in this book as saying, I am the servant of the servants. And he basically put himself beneath everyone else that he served. And that's the type of chief of police that I had in my early days with the last agency I worked with. So what do you think is an important quality? I look forward to your response to the discussion post question with a good APA, and I look forward to your response to continue this discussion.